What are some of the creepiest declassified documents made available to the public? There was a declassified Soviet program where the military tried to use rabbits to psychically communicate between submarines. It was based on the premise that a mother rabbit reacts strongly when one of its offspring is killed violently, even if the mother rabbit is miles or hundreds of miles away. The program involved keeping the mother rabbits at a land-based station and killing the baby rabbits in the submarine. Message content was determined by the frequency and the strength of the reaction from the mother rabbit, which was supposedly dependent on the violence of the death. The documents were declassified a while ago, but only translated in 2016. The creepiest fact is that even the most horrible declassified files are just a small part of the documents that came to light. Too many facts went down the drain. The Nanking Massacre photos, my grandpa coworker wrote a book about it, and it was too much for him. He killed himself. Almost every Chinese writer who wrote about the massacre have killed themselves. The fact that people deny this happened at all is astounding. The WikiLeaks documents about PRISM and about the smart device hacking methods along with how to set said devices into a false off mode. How the government made it illegal to expose the government for the illegal things they have done. Operation LAC biological warfare testing done on US cities. Principally, the operation involved spraying large areas with zinc cadmium sulfide, which is very toxic. Many who were affected died of cancer, and the testing was never followed up on. Most of the neighborhood's genetic makeup was fucked up for no reason, and no apologies were made. The JFK assassination documents never fully being released as they keep getting pushed back. The documents themselves are creepy in the sense of how contradicting they are. But what makes it truly creepy is the full release keeps getting pushed back. Anything involving Japan's Unit 731 during World War II. It was a military chemical and biological warfare division that experimented on POWs. Operation Northwoods. Proposed false flag attacks against American civilians/targets carried out by the CIA and blamed on Cuba in 1962. Thankfully JFK said fuck no and shut that shit down. There is a list somewhere on web of the last words of inmates punished by death in Texas. Gay bomb. It was a weapon speculated by the USA in the 90s that, when dropped, would release pheromones which would make the enemy attracted to each other. Edit, spelling. MKUltra. The CIA performing illegal experiments on Americans to try to develop mind control. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, was subjected to grueling, degrading psychological experiments while he was an underage student at Harvard. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the African American community. There's one where the CIA essentially was researching astral projection and its possible applications for espionage. Project Stargate. They also wanted to disarm enemy troops with psychic hugs. I think there was a lot of creepy things that came out when the East German Stasi files were released after the Berlin Wall fell. All citizens were allowed to view their own files, and many were shocked to find out that their own relatives were informing on them, because they had no choice, and various other things. A good movie about this is called Other People's Lives. Edit, I got the name of the movie wrong. It's The Lives of Others. Operation Mockingbird. It was an operation to manipulate the media for propaganda purposes. But they ended it a long time ago. Honest. There is a famous alien sighting history in a city called Varginha here in Brazil, and the city is mostly known for that particular incident in 1996. A couple of years ago, Brazil's National Archive made public documents that state UFO sightings from civilians and military that dates 25 years before the incident. My university has exchanged letters with Hitler about how they agree with Hitler about the use of eugenics. I believe the letters are in some of the archives in one of our libraries. The speech prepared for Nixon if the moon landing had failed. Going from memory here, but I remember something along the lines of the men who landed on the moon tonight will stay on the moon to rest in peace. Gave me all the chills. The Russian tsunami nuclear torpedo. They are still building them today. On December 5, 1965, a U.S. aircraft carrying a nuclear weapon on board the aircraft carrier USS Ticonderoga fell into the Philippine Sea during a training exercise. The pilot, aircraft, and nuclear weapon was never recovered. Not sure if it's actually creepy, but there are those FBI and CIA, can't remember which, documents about Hitler fleeing to South America, complete with a picture of someone who looks like him taken in Argentina, I believe dated to be 1954. There are documents from the CIA detailing experimentation with telekinesis and moving objects through solid glass. Wait till everything releases about MLK in 2027. Both his legacy and the government are going to take a hit. The Panama Papers. The reporter who broke the story ended up dead not long after it all went public. Get on Reddit to ask a cooking question, end up leaving traumatized. What about the Snowden leaks? I myself have no idea to this day exactly what he leaked, if it applies to this thread, nor how to find them. If anybody has some sauce on this, by all means link me. I've been curious for quite a while now. If any of this teaches you anything, is that the government is constantly looking to fuck you dry. Edit. This is why I don't understand why anyone would want the government to have more power.